podcasting from Fort Wadsworth, Staten Island, New York. This is the Brooklyn Baritone Podcast. Good morning, everyone, or at least it's morning whenever I'm usually recording these productions and podcasts. But whenever you choose to listen to these, morning, afternoon, evening, nighttime, late at night, I always appreciate the likes, the looks, the listens. I would definitely appreciate you hitting that subscribe and notification bell on my YouTube channel, Brooklyn Baritone. Of course, do it if you want to. No pressure, though. I would appreciate the support towards the algorithms swinging in my favor. When you plant grass, you grow grass. Well, I plant fear. And if that fear grows, my man, you're all mine. That's a quote from a wrestler in the 80s known as Jake the Snake Roberts, where his whole character and gimmick was all about psychological warfare, and I would very much say he was very successful in that. Now, the problem is, it just doesn't stop with a character in the wrestling entertainment world. This is actually a very effective and successful tactic used by so many people that have been employed in history and currently being employed today. You can't allow fear to guide you. Even though I started with that quote, I'm going to start off talking to you about fear, saying we're not supposed to be fearful of anything. We're not made with that at all in our bones. That's not how we were intended to be. One thing about fear, a lot of people feel it's a natural thing. It is. In this day and age, how we're living, how we've been living on this earth. At the same time, many people, what I've done a quick search online is that, it's good. It may be good for certain circumstances because a lot of people will be put into kind of like a survival mode, so to speak, depending. It could be something dire with some impending doom, a gunman, natural disaster, or something that's happening where you need to employ fight or flight. I'm not supposed to be fighting all the time. I'm not supposed to be in flight mode all the time. The unfortunate part with fear, even though people say it's good in certain circumstances, it's not good to have that produced all the time. See, the thing about fear, it will produce anxiety, because anxiety and fear have a very intimate relationship with each other. And the thing with being consistently exposed to fear and then consistently being so exposed to anxiety does so much to destroy your mind and your body, even your spiritual strength with a lot of things. Just want to run down a few of the things that anxiety would cause. Even it could be one time for certain people. Some people just aren't made for that. We really aren't made for that because it has adverse effects. So much, in fact, I have to look at some of these notes I have on my phone, all right? One part of anxiety is that it brings a sense of doom. It can cause frequent feelings of impending doom. You may also have difficulty concentrating. Sounds like something that's been going on for a while. It can bring on panic attacks. It can bring on headaches. It can bring on irritability. Constant worry can increase your overall feeling of irritability. You're worrying about something, very irritated. That means you're going to be more prone to act in a way that you usually don't act, just so you can get that source of irritability out the way. It brings on depression. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have been depressed or on their way to depression this past year and past last year. Pounding heart. It can cause heart palpitations. Heart palpitations are not good at all because it makes your heart beat irregular. When your heart beats irregular, that can cause blood clots to form. You don't want blood clots, even though with this medication that they are pushing, it's been recorded that it can cause blood clots. And that's a major concern for a lot of people, even people who have never had that worry before, because you don't want clots to get up in your head. It could cause an aneurysm, it could cause a stroke, it could cause all types of things. It could clot in your legs somewhere. It's just not good. This is one thing that anxiety and fear brings about that we all don't want. Breathing problems. We need this oxygen, this beautiful oxygen all around us so we can live, okay? It can cause an upset stomach. Loss of libido. I know a lot of people, many guys too, don't want that to happen because of fear and anxiety. Extreme fatigue. Increase in blood pressure. That's another thing that will cause you to have possibly blood clots, cause you to have a stroke, all types of things that can happen. Muscle aches and other pains. So overall, from top to bottom, fear and anxiety is not a good thing, even though these things were employed to have us move in a certain direction. I remember, of course, in history, who can't forget, a certain chancellor in Germany basically utilizing fear and coercion and anxiety to get to the point where people now, in this point in history, wondered, how did this happen? How can someone so wicked and evil in such an organization against humanity come to such power? History is repeating itself. I remember reading, and I remember going through it somewhat when I was a child, growing up here in New York City. A certain doctor, a certain famous doctor then, and a very famous doctor now through this whole pandemic and response to it, basically helped utilize fear and anxiety to drive a wedge between people like no other at that time. Even had the FDA approve a drug that's been proven to destroy people's lives, using the same thing, misinformation, getting them to approve something that is not medically cleared, and it caused so much damage and became infamous for it. But here we are with the same doctor, same players, same thing, history repeating itself. It's crazy to think that we can easily come to a point where so much people are separated, segregated, down to family, to blood. People you grew up with can be so separated. Your co-workers, your neighbors, your friends. I understand why some people may go a certain route, but you have to remember again, fear is from the adversary, it's not from the creator. Whether you believe in him or not, you were not made in fear. What I'm going to end this off with is exactly what Yeshua said. Render unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar. Render unto Elohim what belongs to Elohim. And when I last checked, this body, these bodies we're in, this frame we're in, it belongs to Elohim. That's all I got for today. If you want to check out the rest of my content, you can look at my website at www.brooklynbaritone.com. I even have merchandise. You can check that out and see if you want to browse around. Just window shop, online shop. Anyways, you can also check out more of my content on my YouTube channel, Brooklyn Baritone. I'm also on LinkedIn under Corey Ashley. You can find me on Instagram and on Facebook. You can catch the audio versions of these podcasts on Google Podcasts, Apple iTunes Podcasts, Amazon Music under Podcasts. I also broadcast on local cable television 4 times a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12 a.m. and 2 p.m. I'm on RCN, Verizon, Spectrum, and Optimum. Thank you guys for listening. I want you guys to be blessed. I want you guys to walk good. Do not move in fear. You're not made in fear, man. Anyways, talk to you next week. Be blessed. I'm out.